Tracy here with BibleJournalingMinistries.com, and we're working in beautiful verses today. This is one of our printables available at BibleJournalingMinistries.com, and today we are working in John chapter 9 verse 25 using the distressed crayons here by the Tim Holtz line. Just real quickly, I'll thumb through the beautiful verses for you so you can see all of the different verses that you have to use in your Bible. These beautiful verses make it so easy for you to complete Bible journaling entries really fast so that you can get on with spending more time in the Word, studying the Bible, and doing the things that you need to get done instead of worrying about the art. That's what we're here for, making sure that you have the resources that you need to work in your Bible in a way that works for you. Okay, so we are in John chapter 9 verse 25, and if you're new to the Bible, it's towards the end of the book. It's definitely in the New Testament. So I have printed these on white just tissue paper. They're really, I just put them through the inkjet printer, attach them to a piece of paper. I have another video on how to do that, and I will definitely link to that so that you have you can see that. So once it's printed out on tissue paper, you can apply it just like you apply any paper napkin. So you'll use something like a matte medium or a gesso. Today I'll just use matte medium because it's what I have on hand and it's pretty easy to use. Then I am going to just quickly cut this out for you. And to cut it out, I like to use rounded edges, but you can use, sharper edges if you like. But I like to cut mine out round. I just find that it doesn't pull up. It's easy. I feel like I get a better adhesion with the matte medium to that. If you do not like the big words and you don't want to cover up any of the words in your Bible, feel free to use any of these little 2-inch margin ones like this one here. That fits in the margin just perfect, and you're definitely welcome to use that. I really like the big words, so I'm going to go ahead and just use that in my Bible. Now, I do not need to prep my page here because these distressed crayons, unless you're using a real dark color, they typically will not bleed through, so it's not necessary. And I'm not using a lot of water for this technique. I'm going to use just a little bit of a damp paper towel to spread these around. So I'm not worried about them bleeding at all. But if you are, definitely prep your page with a couple layers of gesso if it worries you. So all I'm going to do is just go ahead and highlight the page, the verse. So we're in John chapter 29, and it says, and this is where Jesus heals the blind man. And he says, a little bit before that, I'll just kind of give you a little bit of premise here. And it says, for the second time they called in this man who had been blind and told him, God should get the glory for this, because we know this man, Jesus, is a sinner. And the blind man says, I don't know whether he is a sinner. The man replied, but I know this. I was blind and now I see. So I'm going to go ahead and just highlight that with my distress crayon. And then to get that distress crayon to look less like a chunky crayon, I'm going to take a little bit of water in a damp towel and just move that distressed crayon around. Easy, easy. Okay, and then I'm going to come in here and just add some colors along the side of this page, just here and there. I just want to make a pretty background. I'm not going to do anything like super fancy. As I add the yellow, just grab that yellow piece again. I'm just going to go ahead and just make it into the background. Just blend it into the background. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to add some of this green. That is really cool. It's like a lime green. Just here and there. And I'm going to go ahead and move that with a little bit of this water. You can start to see them blend together a little bit. Blends a lot more if you use gesso to prep your page. So this distress crayon is not going to slide as much on a non-prepped page like the one I have here, but it still works, and for a nice light background it's perfect. Okay, I'm not sure if I want to use the pink right now. Kind of liking just the lime and the yellow, so I think I'm just going to finish this out with a little more yellow and a little bit of lime and a little lemon lime. And then I'm just going to call it done because I like the way this background looks. Perfect. I'm really happy with the background. So let it dry for just a little bit before I go ahead and apply the matte medium. You can definitely use gesso as well. I'm just using matte medium because it's right next to me. And the purpose of the matte medium is not to protect this page. I mean, you can use it as a page protector and you can use it in place of gesso. It's not the same. It's really kind of more liquidy than gesso, but I like to use it, and a little goes a long way. This bottle is almost a year old and I use it in all my projects. So to apply it, I'm just going to add a little bit to the page. I'll just move it around with my finger. You can use a paintbrush if you want to, or a credit card to move it. That's fine. My goal here is just to get enough matte medium on the page so that I can put down the words. And I'm going to need more up here on the top. Again, I'm not trying to coat the whole page. I just need enough so that this will adhere. Okay. And I'm just going to place it down and slowly with my finger just push it out onto the edges. Try not to get it as wrinkled. But sometimes wrinkles happen. Okay. I'm just going to push down on this. There's a couple spots that where it didn't quite adhere to the page, so I'm just pushing down to try to get that to adhere. Oops. Accidentally pulled up on that piece of napkin, so there we go. Alright, and I'm going to add just a little bit of gesso in places where it doesn't look like it's adhering well. I'm sorry, that's not gesso, that's matte medium. So far, so good. I do have a couple spots where I pulled it up. I wasn't very careful, but that's okay. Everything can be fixed. Okay, now I'm going to dry it. And I'm just going to come in with a little bit of stamping ink. I'm going to use StazOn ink along with a couple sets here. This one is Word Nerd and the other one is called Rise Up. And I don't know if these kits are still available from Illustrated Faith, but I just want to use them, so that's what I have on hand and that's what I'm going to go ahead and use. So all I need to do is just get either a clear block, which I don't have in front of me, so I won't use that, but I'll just stick my glasses. Actually, that may not work because of the ridge here, but we'll try it. Let's just try it and see. Just going to stick that down. Going to grab my ink. And I'm just going to stamp it down and see if that works out. Yeah, it works just fine. Okay, and I'm just stamping just the glasses to just resemble that we were blind, but now we can see. And that's that one, and then I will go ahead and stamp some of these little crosses, which are uber cute. Okay, so just again, using the StazOn because it doesn't, I know it doesn't bleed through. Not that I need to worry about that now because obviously I have some matte medium down, so we're not going to have that much of a problem. And I'm just stamping here and there kind of randomly, not really thinking much about it, but just to kind of create some interest on the page. I'll make sure to clean that off in just a minute, but I do want to take my pen here and make sure that you can see what verse we're talking about, which is this one right here. Okay, and there we go. A quick, simple, easy page. Did not take very long to create. Let me zoom in for you. And just in awe of Jesus and his miracles. Alright, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please give us that thumbs up, subscribe or follow us, and visit us online at BibleJournalingMinistries.com. You have a wonderful day. Okay, bye-bye.